I just met you. Seems like yesterday. You opened up your eyes and I recognized your face. You know that you're the one that we've been waiting for. We're gonna keep you safe. First time I held you in my arms, I knew I'd love you all the way. I tuck you in at night, another day has passed. Every week goes by a little faster than the last. It wasn't so long ago, we walked together and you held my hand. But now you're getting too big to want to, but I hope you'll always understand that I'm always gonna lift you up, and I'm never gonna let you down. No matter what you do, I'm forever proud of you. I love you forever now. Through your ears I hear it, through your eyes I see a world full of magic, full of possibilities. You know as well as anybody how tough this life can be, but you've got so much strength inside you, a strength I pray you'll never need. And I'm always gonna lift you up, and I'm never gonna let you down. Time flies by, hope you realize that I love you forever now. We arrive on the planet and blinking step into the sun. There's more to be seen than can ever be seen, more to do than can ever be done. Some say eat or be eaten, some say live and let live, but all I agree is to join the stampede. You should never take more than you give in the circle of life. It's the wheel of fortune, it's the leap I faith, it's the band of hope. We find our place on the path that winds in the circle of life. Some of us fall by the wayside, and some of us soar to the stars, and some of us sail through our trouble. Some have to live with the scars. There's far too much to take in here, or to find that can never be found. But the sun rolling high through the sapphire sky keeps grading some more of the endless round in the circle of life. Is the wheel of fortune, it's the leap of faith,
ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you. If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. Find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh, ooh, yeah. If you're tossing and you're turning and you just can't fall asleep, I'll sing a song beside you. And if you ever forget how much you really mean to me, every day I will remind you. Oh, find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do.
I just met you. Seems like yesterday. You opened up your eyes and I recognized your face. You know that you're the one that we've been waiting for. We're gonna keep you safe. First time I held you in my arms, I knew I'd love you all the way. I took you in. I just met you. Seems like yesterday. You opened up your eyes and I recognized your face. You know that you're the one that we've been waiting for. We're gonna keep you safe. First time I held you in my arms, I knew I'd love you all the way. I tuck you in at night. Another day has passed. Every week goes by a little faster than the last. It wasn't so long ago we walked together and you held my hand. But now you're getting too big to want to. But I hope you'll always understand that I'm always gonna lift you up, and I'm never gonna let you down. No matter what you do, I'm forever proud of you. I love you forever now. Through your ears I hear it, through your eyes I see a world full of magic, full of possibilities. You know as well as anybody how tough this life can be. But you've got so much strength inside you, a strength I pray you'll never need. Gonna lift you up, and I'm never gonna let you down. Time flies by, hope you realize that I love you forever now. We arrive on the planet into the sun. There's more to be seen than can ever be seen, more to do than can ever be done. but all I regret is to join the stampede. You should never take more than you give in the circle of life. It's the wheel of fortune. It's the leap I face. It's the band of hope. We find our place on the path that winds in the circle of life. Some of us fall by the wayside, and some of us soar to the stars, and some of us sail through our trouble. Some have to live with the scars. There's far too much to take in here, or to find that can never be found. But the sun rolling high through the sapphire sky keeps creating some more of the endless ride in the circle of life. Is the wheel of fortune. It's the leap of faith. Is the band of hope. We find our place on the path that winds in the circle of life. Is the wheel of fortune, yeah. It's the leap of faith. It's the band of hope. We find our place on the path that winds, yeah.
If you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you. If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. Find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh, yeah. If you're tossing and you're turning and you just can't fall asleep, I'll sing a song beside you. And if you ever forget how much you really mean to me, every day I will remind you. Oh, find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends things are supposed to do.
Everybody's in.
Morning. Shalom. I'm going to let you talk in a second anyways, but if you did not take a siddur, if you did not take a prayer book, either a light blue one or a dark blue one, you're in the back of the sanctuary, the bookcase, and Aidan would like you to have one. So he's going to ask you to read, and if you don't have a book, you're not going to read, and some of them may be a little bit famished, because his part to go, and it won't be, so we can sort of do like old delis, corkies, or something like that. Raise your hand if you need a book, and somebody might bring one to you. So we want to welcome you this morning to Shabbat service and to Aidan's bar mitzvah. And I understand that we are in YouTube land as well, so out there we want to say hello. Just a quick word about COVID protocols at the synagogue. We are told that almost everybody here has been vaccinated, which is good. The protocol, so hopefully you're sitting in a cohort and you're okay. Our one request is we would prefer, we're not going to require, but we would prefer if you're on the bima itself, like going through the ark, that you wear a mask. That is because there are people around that you don't know, and we've been around people that we don't know, and so we're still not quite sure with this whole spreading thing. And we do know that synagogues and churches are unfortunately super spreaders. So that would be our preference. So we begin with the singing of Zimra, a song for Shabbat, and following that will be the morning service, and our Shliach Tzibur will be Aidan. Not yet Aidan. You got time.
Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom.
Those who may be wondering what the meaning of the words are, nai means nai. Doesn't mean anything. Though, actually, you could make it into a Hebrew word of na, which would mean please, so please, a Shabbat of peace. So as I mentioned before, Aidan serves as our Shliach Tzibur. It is customary for a Shliach Tzibur to wear a talit. We're going to ask his grandmothers to present his talit to him. So we're going to ask Deborah, Barbara, and Mindy.
Shabbat Shalom. We begin on page 170. May my life be one link in a chain of goodness. As I say the prayers of my ancestors, help me to recall their devotion and faithfulness, their joy and suffering, which are in every word. Holiness is my heritage. May I be worthy of it. May our tradition live in me and pass from me to generations I shall never know, enriched by the truth that I have found and the good deeds I have done. So may I fulfill my task on earth and receive my blessing. And when the service ends and the prayers have ceased, help me to bring the Spirit into the world in which I live. May I love God above all and my neighbors as myself, and be a living witness to the truth that never changes. We continue on page 175 with our daily miracles. Please join me. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who has given the minded vision straight from night. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who opens the eyes of the blind. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who frees the captive. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who lifts up the fallen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who stretches the earth over the waters. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who strengthens our steps. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who clothes the naked. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who gives strength to the weary. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who removes sleep from the eyes, slumber from the eyelids. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who made me in the image of God. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who has made me free. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who has made me a Jew. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who gives us our strength. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who crowns us with splendor. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lazok b'divrei Torah. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to engage the words of Torah. We continue on page 180. Elu davrim she'ein lahem she'or, v'talmud Torah keneged kulam. These are the things that are limitless, of which a person enjoys the fruit of the world, while the principle remains in the world to come. Together we read. They are honoring one's father and mother, engaging in deeds of compassion, arriving early for study morning and evening, dealing graciously with guests, visiting the sick, providing for the wedding couple, accompanying the dead for burial, being devoted in prayer, and making peace among people. But the study of Torah encompasses them all. We continue on page 185 with Ashrei.
Ashrei yoshvei beitecha, od yehalelucha sela. Ashrei ha'am shekacha lo, ashrei ha'am she'Adonai Elohav. Happy are those who dwell in your house, they forever praise you. Happy the people who have it so, happy the people whose God is Adonai. Tila leDavid, aromim Elohai hamelech, v'avarcha shimcha leolam va'ed. B'chol yom avarchecha, v'halala shimcha leolam va'ed. Gadol Adonai mulal me'od, v'ligdulato incheker. דור לדור ישבח מעשיך, וגבורותיך יגידו. הדר כבוד הודיך, ודברי נפלותיך השיחה. וזוז נורותיך יאמרו, וגדולתך אספרנה. זכר רב טובך יביעו, וצדקתך ירננו. חנון ורחום אדוני, ערך אפיים וגדל חסד. טוב אדוני לכל, ורחמיו על כל מעשיו.
Please rise and turn to page 194.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ויעלמה תפרחי רותי. וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל. בקלה, בקלה, ובזמן קריב, ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר, ויתעלה, ויתהלל, שמי לקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה, ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, תמירן בעלמה, ויאמרו אמן. לילה 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 Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMivorach Baruch Adonai HaMivorach HaMivorach Le'olam Va'ed HaMivorach HaMivorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Praise Adonai, to whom praise is due forever. Praised be Adonai, to whom praise is due, now and forever. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer or uverei choshech, oseh shalom uverei et hachol, chameir la'aretz, v'ladarim elecha barachamim, u'tuvoch mechadesh, b'chol yom tamid, ma'asech bereshit, marabu ma'asecha, Adonai kulam, b'chochma asitach, mal'ah ha'aretz, kinei nechach, titbarach Adonai Eloheinu, al shevach ma'aseh yadecha, ve'al me'orei orshi asitach, yifarucha selach or charash al tzion te'ir, v'neskeh chulan mechara le'oro, baruch atah Adonai yotzer hame'orot. The world is sunlight, restoring the soul, rejoicing the heart, bringing light to the eyes, more welcome than gold, a Torah from heaven. Together we read, I have no light to give the morning. My Torah, my special human gift, is words. As I bring my words from forth silence, welcome them, you who redeems the sun from darkness. Baruch atah Adonai yotzer hame'orot. We continue on page 198. Al havach rabach aftanu Adonai Eloheinu kemlach gedolach beterach kamata aleinu. O God, inspiration and guide for all, you have spoken in 1,000 tongues for us to hear, in every land and every age. Your children have heard you and imagined you in separate ways, and yet, O God, you are one unifier of humanity. Together we read, we give thanks for the sages and teachers who bring us understanding of your will. Gratefully we recall the lawgivers and prophets, the psalmists and sages of Israel, and joyfully we remember that from the dawn of Israel's life, we return to you and find purpose. May the teachings of our ancestors live on in our minds, and their passion for righteousness stir our hearts. Help us to live so that our daily conduct reveals the beauty and wisdom of your truth. Baruch atah Adonai, habocher ba'amo Yisrael ba'achavach.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol lecha v'chol nafshecha v'chol me'odecha v'chayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher nochi mitzvacha chayom al levavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shetecha b'vtecha uletecha b'derech ushobecha uvkumecha ushartam le'ot ayadecha v'chulatotafot ein einecha uftavtam al mezuzon peitecha uvisharecha leman tezkeru v'azinten et kol mitzvotai v'yintem kiddushim Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher henseitiechem me'eretz Mitzrayim le'elot lechem Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem. Together we read, love Adonai, your God, with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work. Whether you're tired or you're rested, let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai your God. We continue on page 203. Emet ve'yatziv ve'chayuv ve'chaviv ve'norach ve'chadir ve'tov ve'yafeh chadavar chaseh aleinu le'olam va'ed. Sing the song of men and women, join in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, the song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. We continue with Micha Mocha on page 204.
Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha nedar b'kudish, Nora tehilot, Ose fele, Ose fele, Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha nedar b'kudish, Nora tehilot, Ose fele, Ose fele.
Please rise and pray silently. Please turn to page 205 for the vote via ma'ot. Adonai sefer taftita ufi yagitila techa baruchata Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu v'mioteinu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzhak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rahel Elohei Leah El Hagador Hagibor v'Hanorach El Elyon Gomel Hasadim Tovim V'Konei Ha'Kol V'Zaher Haseyavot V'Yamaot Umevi Ge'ula Livnei V'Nehem Lema Shemo Be'ava Mela Ozer Umoshianu Magen Baruch Atah Adonai Magen Abraham Bezrat Sarah. Source of all being, we turn to you as did our people in ancient days. They beheld you in the heavens, they felt you in their hearts, they sought you in their lives, their quest is ours. Together we read. Help us to see the wonder of being, give us the courage to search for truth, teach us the path to a better life, so shall we, by our lives and our labors, being nearer the world we envision, one of justice, freedom, and peace. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham, Bezrat Sarah. Atagi bor l'olam Adonai, mechaye matim atorah l'ushia, mor hatal, mekakel chayim bechesed, mechaye matim barachar mimramin, someh noflim erofei cholim, umater asurim, chayim emunato, levshenei afar, micha mocha bal givorot, umidom elach, melech memid, chayim, Umatzmiach, Yeshuach, Vene'eman atah lechayot metim, Baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hametim. You are the open door that beacons me in, peeking around the doorframe. I begin to enter in your glory. You move me forward, O Eternal, to step beyond self-made boundaries. Lift my foot over the threshold, that I might abide with you in the house of the Eternal. Together we read. I found my questions waiting to be posed. They filled me with wonder. Sit with me, eternal teacher, and encourage my seeking as I fill my hours with your mitzvot. so shall I be filled. Send me throughout your door, stretching up to honor your name, sharing out this wonder, enriching myself in the given. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaMetim.
As we come to the Kedusha, sanctification, we're going to ask Aidan's aunt and uncle and cousins, Samantha and Jamie and Lucy and Jack, to join us on the bima as we open the ark.
Chad hu Eloheinu, hu Avinu, hu Malkeinu, Moshienu. Echad hu Eloheinu, hu Avinu, hu Malkeinu, Moshienu. Vehu yashmi'enu v'rachamav, v'rachamav le'enei kol chai. Yimloch Adonai le'olam, Eloheich Sion, l'dor v'dor, Hallelujah. L'dor v'dor, l'dor v'dor, l'dor v'dor, l'dor v'dor nagid God lecha. L'dor v'dor, l'dor v'dor, l'dor v'dor nagid God lecha. U'lenitzach nitzachim kedushat Chanakdish, Kedushat Chanakdish, V'shivcha Eloheinu, mipinu lo yamush, le'olam va'ed.
Page 210. To all generations we will make known your greatness, and to all eternity proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O God, shall never depart from our lips. Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated.
So Aidan has requested that we sing the next song about keeping Shabbat on the bottom of page 210 called V'Shamru. We have an interactive way of participating in V'Shamru, and we invite you all to get into the Shabbat spirit with him and do it together. So as we sing V'Shamru B'nei Yisrael, when you hear et, stand up, et, and then you turn around, Shabbat, and then you make a big woo, because we're so happy to be at this simcha, and so we share together V'Shamru. V'Shamru B'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat Lazot et HaShabbat Lidorotam Berit Olam. B'nei B'nei Yisrael Oti Leolam, Oti Leolam, Oti Leolam. V'Shamru B'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat Lazot et HaShabbat Lidorotam Berit Olam.
Aidan requested it, but he's not standing up and wooing.
And now the very last line. Uvayom hashvi, Shabbat v'nefesh, Shabbat v'nefesh, Shabbat v'nefesh. V'Shamru B'nei
Israel את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Page 211. Eloheinu, Belohei, Avotenu v'miotenu, Etzem vim nuchatenu, Gadshenu, v'mitzotecha, v'etzem kokenu, v'toratecha. The meaning of Shabbat is to celebrate time rather than space. 6 days a week, we live under the tyranny of things of space. On Shabbat, we try to become attuned to holiness and time. It is a day on which we are called upon to share in what is internal in time, to turn from the result of creation to the mystery of creation, from the world of creation to the creation of the world. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Continue on top of page 212.
Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu B'amcha Yisrael. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu B'amcha Yisrael. Utfilatam be'ahava tikabeh. Utfilatam be'ahava tikabeh. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu B'amcha Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai she'otecha levadecha V'yira na'avod.
On this Shabbat day, as you graciously receive our prayers, help us to hear your call, grant us enough health to fulfill our duties, and the compassion we need to attend to others. Together we read, teach us humility that we may perceive our own faults, and grant us the wisdom to be forgiving of others. Give us the courage to be true to our highest selves, and the charity to see the best in those around us. Give us patience enough not to become discouraged, hope enough to overcome all fears of the future, and faith enough to know your presence. O source of blessing, look with favor upon us. May our offerings be acceptable to you. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otecha levarka be'erha na'avod. We continue on page 213. Modim anachnu lach, sha'ata hu Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu, v'umtzenu le'olam va'ed, Tzor chayinu, Magen Yeshenu, Atahu, Vador Vador. We continue on page 214. For the expanding grandeur of creation, worlds known and unknown, galaxies beyond galaxies, filling us with awe and challenging our imaginations. Modim anachnu lach. For this fragile planet Earth, its times and tides, its sunsets and seasons, Modim anachnu lach. Please join me on page 215. For the joy of human life, its wonders and surprises, its hopes and achievements, Modim anachnu lach. For human community, our common past and future hope, our oneness transcending all separation, our capacity to work for peace and justice in the midst of hostility and oppression, Modim anachnu lach. for high hopes and noble causes, for faith without fanaticism, for understanding of views not shared, modim anachlach. For all who have labored and suffered for a fairer world, who have lived so that others might live in dignity and freedom, modim anachlach. For human liberties and scared rights, for opportunities to change and grow, to affirm and choose, modim anachlach. We pray that we may live not by our fears, but by our hopes, not by our words, but by our deeds. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shemacha lucha na'eh lachadu.
Sim, sim, sim shalom, sim, sim, sim shalom, sim, sim, sim shalom, tshova uviracha. Sim, sim, sim shalom, sim, sim, sim shalom, sim, sim, sim shalom, tshova uviracha. Chen v'chesed v'rachamim Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael V'al kol Yisrael amecha Yisrael amecha. Sim, sim, sim shalom, sim, sim, sim shalom, sim, sim, sim shalom, tshova uv'racha. Barchinu Yosreinu kulanu kiechad beor panecha beor panecha. Sim, sim, sim shalom, sim, sim, sim shalom, sim, sim, sim shalom, tova uviracha.
Baruch atah Adonai, hamarecha et amo Yisrael b'shalom. O God, may we never become complacent, faltering in our effort to build a world of peace. Let the nations know and understand that justice and right are better than dominion and conquest. May all come to see that it's not by might nor by power, but by your Spirit that life prevails. Please pray silently.
Yihiu liratzon imrefi, vegion lipi lefanecha. Yihiu liratzon imrefi, vegion lipi lefanecha. Adonai Suri, Adonai Suri, Adonai Suri, Viko Ali. Adonai Suri, Adonai Suri, Adonai Suri, Viko Ali. May the words of my mouth, the meditations of my heart, be acceptable to you, Adonai. May the words of my mouth, the meditations of my heart, be acceptable to you, Adonai. Adonai, you are my rock. Adonai, you are my rock. Adonai, my rock and Redeemer. Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, V'kol Ali.
Page 245. Seder Kriyat Torah, the order reading from the Torah. Aidan shares to us this morning from a portion from the book of Numbers, Sefer Bamidbar, Bahalotecha, which is about lighting the menorah in the tabernacle. And there are a few questions and a few things that we could actually learn from it for our own lives. The first question is, why was Aaron chosen to light this? And what we might say it's because he was the Levite, one of the Levites. But what was happening in previous portions is all the heads of the tribes were bringing stuff, the building of the Mishkan, building of this tabernacle. The only problem was the tribe of Levite didn't bring anything. They had nothing to bring. And Aaron was feeling kind of bad about it, so he talked to his brother Moses and said, can we do something? And part of the answer was, well, you guys are going to be able to take care of this place, but you'll be lighting the menorah. And then Aaron said, but only the leaders came to light the menorah, and you are the leader of the Levites. And Moses said, but no, I'm the leader of all the people. And so when you take on that role of being in charge of more than one group of people, you have to be a leader of everybody. And so Moses gave up that role to give it to Aaron to take over. I guess in modern politics and modern life, we should remember that when you're a mayor of a city, you're a mayor of everybody in the city. Not just the people that live in a certain district, but you're mayor of everybody. So that was one lesson we might learn. A second lesson is sort of an extrapolation of what the lesson in the Torah is. So the lesson in the Torah is simply this. What happens if you have Passover comes along and everybody's supposed to participate in the Passover sacrifice? But what happens if somebody becomes tameh, if somebody becomes unclean because they touch a dead body, for instance? Or what happens if they're on a trip? You know, they decide to take a road trip someplace, and the Passover sacrifice comes, and they can't make this sacrifice. We don't do these anymore unless you're Sephardic from Greece or something like that. I have a friend that actually does, his family every year at Passover do a sacrifice in the backyard, unfortunately. I mean, it's kind of gross. You know, they actually sacrifice a lamb. That becomes their Passover meal. But what do you do? And so the answer is given is that a month after Passover, these people are allowed to do a second Passover offering, a second Passover. So what is the lesson that we get? It's everybody deserves a second chance. You know, we don't all deserve a third, fourth, and fifth chance, but everybody deserves at least a second chance, especially if they, have really apologized and made retribution and all that kind of stuff. So for all of us, if we're handling a regret that somebody did something to us, maybe we should think about giving them a second chance. The third part is we learn about this guy called Hobab. Well, Hobab is Moshe's father-in-law, is Moses' father-in-law, but the problem is we know Moses' father-in-law as Jethro. So we find out as we go through this whole Bible thing that Jethro is going to have a bunch of different names. I did a wedding the other day, and the bride had 7 names. Just want you to know, it was like Anna, Barris. It was like this long thing. She has not been able to get a driver's license because her birth certificate said one thing. Her other thing says another. She's so happy to get married because now she's going to be able to change her name and get a driver's license. At any rate, Hobab, this guy, Jethro, says to Moses, I'm leaving, bye, I'm going back to my land. And Moses says, no, please stay. You've been good for us. You know where to camp. You know all these things about the desert. Please stay. And if you stay, we're going to give you all kinds of rewards. We're going to give you lots of money, wealth. You've been good to us. We'll be good to you. And Hobab says, no, I'm going back. When he says, well, why are you going back, basically? You can imagine this conversation going back and forth. He says, because I have responsibilities. And yes, you're offering me all these nice things, but I have other responsibilities, and sometimes our responsibilities should supersede our desires for the immediate gratification that we might have. And finally, the last lesson is, and this is probably a good one for a bar mitzvah. They don't have a lot of past experience here, but we should not necessarily live in the past. And if we're going to live in the past or think about the past, let's look at the past in reality. What's happening here? So Moses is there, the people start complaining. It's a typical Israelite thing that's going to be happening. What are they complaining about? They don't like the food they're getting. They don't like this manna. So they're getting manna. So what's manna? Manna is this stuff that fell from heaven, and they were able to grind it up, and they could make it, according to one of the traditions, it tasted like whatever you wanted it to taste like. And so the people had this food, and they had this sustenance every day. And what do they start doing? They start complaining to Moses. They don't like this. They want meat. Well, later on in the portion, they're going to have more meat than they can imagine. God is going to send down quail and all this kind of stuff, and they're going to have meat for morning, evening, lunchtime. It reminds me, we never had lamb in my house growing up because my father in World War II was stationed someplace in the Pacific. And he had lamb for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And so when we got home, when we were growing up, my mom made lamb chops, she made lamb chops, and he wasn't around. No. But the people are now complaining. What do they say to Moses? They say to Moses, we want meat. We remember the great food we had in Egypt. We remember the fish. We remember the cucumbers and the melons and the garlic and the onions and the leeks. And if you think about it, what are they remembering? They were slaves, right? Remembering the garlic and all the stuff. What they were getting was the leftovers from all the other people, and they were getting all these things that were hiding the taste of the fish, which was probably rotten. And garlic and onions and leeks are natural disinfectant type things, whatever they would be called or something like that. And so they're really strong, right? And they were hiding the flavors. And so Moses realizes what they're doing. They're not ready to be free people. They're still living in the past. They're still living as slaves. And for us in our own lives, so many of us still live in the past all the time. We remember, the past experiences, but we sometimes are going through something and we go, oh God, it was so much better then. It was so much better in the 1950s, 1960s, or 1970s. And when we were going through the 1950s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever the year was, it's going to be horrible. We're going to think about this last year, which was horrid. We're going to go, oh, it was so nice. I was home with my family all the time. So we're going to live in the past. And so we hope that we won't do that, and we live and look forward towards the future. So, page 245. Hakel ta'am ha'anashim v'hanashim v'hatafa gircha asher b'sharecha. L'man yishma'u ma'an yilmadu v'yiru et Adonai Elohechem. V'shermu la'asot et kol divrei ha'torah hazot. Uvneihem asher lo yad'u yishma'u v'lamdu yira et Adonai Elohechem. Assemble the people, men, women, and children, and the strangers in your cities, to hear, to learn, to revere Adonai, your God. To observe faithfully the words of this Torah, and let their children who do not yet know hear, they too may learn to revere Adonai, your God. We rise as we take the Torah from the ark. We're going to ask, again, Aidan's aunt and uncle and his cousins, Paola, Jeff, Hayden, and Karina to come and join us on the bima. And we're also going to ask his grandfathers, Ron and Steve and Harold and Elizabeth and Scott, join us as well.
Ki mitzvah tetzei Torah, ki mitzvah tetzei Torah, u'devar Adonai miYerushalayim. Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah. Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah. Li'amo Yisrael Bikdushato Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonenu Kadosh Shemo Lecha Adonai Hagedula Hagevura Hatiferet V'hanetzach v'hahod Ki chol b'shamayim uvaretz Ki chol b'shamayim uvaretz Lecha Adonai hamamlacha V'hamid naseh lechol rush Romimu Adonai Eloheinu v'shachavu lehar kodsho Romimu Adonai Eloheinu v'shachavu lehar kodsho Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romimu Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romimu Adonai Eloheinu v'shachavu v'har kodsho
Ya'amdu la'aliyah rishona.
I'd like to call Aunt Stephanie and Uncle Barry for the honor of the first Aliyah.
Baruch Hu Adonai Hamvorach. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam. Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amin. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Notin HaTorah. Baruch Hu Adonai Hamvorach.
V'yamarta elav v'ahalotecha et hanerot elmu panei chamnara ya'iru shivat chamnara v'ya'as kain acharon et mul panei chamnara he'elach nerotecha ka'asher tzibach Adonai et Moshe. Seven lamps cast light. Aaron did so. Till the face of the menorah he kindled its lamps as God had commanded Moses.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Natan Lanu Torah Emet V'chayei Olam Nata B'tochenu Baruch Atah Adonai Notin HaTorah. Baruch Atah.
Version of it. We were saying there on their behalf, so they had a baby recently. So they were looking around trying to see where they were coming from. Afar. Ya'amdu la'aliyah shenit.
I'd like to call Aunt Gail and Uncle Bob for the honor of the second Aliyah.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach Le'olam Vahed.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher ba'acha banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Etzem ma'asech chamnarach mikshach dachav ad yerechach ad pirchach mikshachiv kamar ech asher he'erach Adonai et Moshe kain asach et chamnarach v'adaber Adonai el Moshe lemor ach et havi'im mitok b'nei Yisrael v'ticharta otam. This is the workmanship of the menorah, hammered out gold. From its base to its flower it is hammered out. According to the vision that God showed Moses, so did he make the menorah. God spoke to Moses, saying, "Take the Levites from among the children of Israel and purify them."
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Ya'amdu la'aliyah shlishit.
I'd like to call all of my grandparents up for the honor of the third Aliyah.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach Le'olam Vahed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach Le'olam Vahed. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher ba'acha banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
V'kol ta'aseh lachem Atacharam chadei alechem me chatat veheviru ta'ar al chal basaram v'kibsu bigdechem v'tiharo veluchu par bein bachar umin chato solet belulach vasamen upar sheni vein bachar tiach lachatat v'hibravta et havi'im lifnei ohel moed v'hichalta et chal adat b'nei Yisrael. So shall you do to them to purify them, sprinkle upon them water of purification, and let them pass the razor over the entire flesh, and let them immerse their garments, and they shall become pure. They shall take a young bull and its meal offering, fine flour mixed with oil, and a sucking young bull shall you take as a sin offering. You shall bring the Levites before the tent of meeting, and you shall gather the entire assembly of the children of Israel.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan b'to tarato olam. Baruch Atah Adonai Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Ta'amod la'aliyah rivihi.
I'd like to call Jordan for the honor of the fourth aliyah. I have none.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamerach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bahar Banu Mikol Ha'amin V'natan Lanu Et Torato Baruch Ata Adonai Notein HaTorah.
Amen.
Higrafta et Haviim Lifnei Adonai V'samchu V'nei Yisrael et Yedechem Al Haviim Lifnei Acharon et Haviim Tenufach Lifnei Adonai Ma'at B'nei Yisrael V'chayu La'avod et Avodat Adonai. You shall bring the Levites before God, and the children of Israel shall lean their hands upon the Levites. Aaron shall wave the Levites as a wave service before God from the children of Israel, and they shall remain to perform the service of God.
Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Natan Lanu Torah Emet V'chayei Olam Nata B'Toheinu Baruch Ata Adonai Notein HaTorah.
Amen. Ya'amdu la'aliyah chamishi.
I'd like to call my mom and dad for the honor of the fifth aliyah.
Baruch Adonai Hambarak.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarak Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Halamim V'natan Lanu Et Torato Baruch Atah Adonai Notein HaTorah.
Amen.
V'haviim Yismechu et Yedechem Al Rosh Chaparim V'asa et Ha'echad Chatat V'het Ha'echad Ola La Adonai V'lachpar Al Haviim V'chamadat et Haviim Lifnei Hanerot Lifnei Vanei V'hei Nafta Otam Tenufach La Adonai. The Levites shall lean their hands upon the heads of the bulls. You shall make the one a sin offering and one an elevation offering to God, to provide atonement for the Levites. You shall stand the Levites before Aaron and before his sons, and wave them as a wave offering before God.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Natan Lanu Torah Temet V'chayei Olam Nata B'Toheinu Baruch Atah Adonai Notein HaTorah.
Amen. Ya'amod Avraham Pinchas la'aliyah labar mitzvah.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato Baruch Atah Adonai Notein HaTorah.
Amen.
Hivdata et Haviim mitok b'nei Yisrael v'chayu li Haviim v'charachem v'chayu Haviim lavod et ochel moed v'hihata otam v'heinafta otam tenufach ki netanim chema li mitok b'nei Yisrael chatat trat chal rechem chakor hol mibnei Yisrael lach hatai otam li. Baruch atah. So shall you separate the Levites from among the children of Israel, and the Levites shall remain mine. Thereafter the Levites shall come to serve the tent of meeting. You shall purify them, and you shall wave them as a wave service. Presented are they to me from among the children of Israel, in place of the first issue of every womb. The firstborn of everyone of the children of Israel have I taken to myself. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chaye olam nata b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten Torah.
Amen. We rise as we lift the Torah. Jack and Lucy are going to help put the garments back on the Torah.
זאת התורה ששם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה.
You may be seated. We continue with the Haftarah. The blessings can be found on page 254.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'mi'im tovim v'ritzah b'derehem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habacher b'torah u'Moshe avdo v'Yisrael amo u'b'nvi'eh cha'emet v'sedek. My Haftarah comes from the book of Zechariah. Zechariah assures the exiled people of divine assistance in the work of rebuilding the temple. The Haftarah concludes with the famous words, "Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit," says God. These words proclaim the lesson of all Jewish history. It is certainly the teaching of Hanukkah with which Zechariah's name is linked in the temple service. Toward the end of the Haftarah, Zechariah has a vision of a 7-branched candle holder, the kind that stood in the second temple. The candle holder provides the link between the Haftarah and Torah portion, which begins with the lighting of the 7-branched menorah by Aaron. Rani v'simchi batzion ki haneni va eshankanti b'tochei ne'um Adonai v'kinivu goyim rabim el Adonai bayom hahu v'chayu li le'am eshankanti b'tochei v'yadat ki Adonai sevaot shelachani Elayik Venaha Adonai et Yehuda Elko al Admat HaKodesh Uvachar Od Barushalayim Haskol Basar Mipnei Adonai Kineor Mimon Kadsho Vayireini et Yehushua HaKohen Hagadol Omeid Lifnei Malach Adonai Basantan Omeid Elimi Noslit No Omer Adonai El Santan Igar Adonai Vecha Chasantan Vigar Adonai Vecha Bocher Barushalayim Halo Ze Ur Mutzo Me'esh Vehushua Chayalavush Veyagadim Soim Ve'omeid Lifnei Chamalach Vaya'an Vayomer El Hamundim Lifnav Leomer Chasiru Habgadim Hatsuim Me'elav Vayomer Elav Rieh Ha'evarti Me'alecha Havonecha El Habaish Utecha Mechalat Sot. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Sor Kol Halamim Tzadik B'Chol Hadorot Ha'el HaNe'eman Ha'omer Ve'oseh Hamdaber Kayem Shekal Devarav Emet V'Sedek Al HaTorah V'Ha'avodah V'Ha'anvi'im V'Ha'yom Shabbat Hazeh Shenatat Adonai Eloheinu Likdusha V'Limnucha L'Chavod U'Tifaret Ahakol Adonai Eloheinu Anakum Modim Lok Lach Umferhim Otak Yitzbrak Shem Fi Chochai, Tamid Le'olam Ba'ed, Baruch Ata Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen.
Amen. We invite Uncle Adam to the Bima to open the ark. Please rise as we return the Torah. Yehalu et Shem Adonai, Ki Niskav Shmo Levado. Let us praise the name of Adonai, for God's name alone is exalted.
Ojo aleres v'shamayim vayarim keren le'amo tehila l'chol chasida l'bnei Yisrael am kiruvu. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Ilachachtom natati lachem torati al ta'azovu. For I have given you good instruction, do not abandon my Torah.
Etz chaim hi lemachazikim ba v'tomecha meushar. Dracheha, Drachei Noam, V'chol netivoteha, Shalom. Hashivenu, Adonai, Elecha, V'nashuva, Chadesh, Chadesh Yameinu, Chadesh Yameinu, Kikedim.
You may be seated.
Parsha Ba'aha Lotacha tells the story of the Israelis finally leaving their encampment at the foot of Mount Sinai and beginning to travel through the desert. They've been situated there in the same spot since the middle of the book of Exodus. They're getting indications perhaps the nation will soon undergo a leadership transition, that Moses in his relationship with God isn't the only one who can lead them. My Torah portion teaches us about ceding control and seizing it. I can relate this in my life because one of my teammates lost control of our team and I had to step up into the position of leadership. We should all be a type of person to come forward and lead a community with grace and ease. For my Mitzvah project, I decided to collect used baseball equipment for underprivileged children who don't have access to high-quality equipment. I'm collecting these items for both of my teams, the Plantation Stars and the Broward Blizzards, and from other friends I know in the baseball community. I'll be sending these donations to one of my practice facilities that will send it to kids in other countries. Baseball is extremely important to me, and I'm greatly appreciative of the sacrifices and money that has gone into this influential part of my life. I've been playing baseball since the age of 3, and it has shaped me into the person I am today. To be able to have the opportunity to share this sport with others is not only an incredible honor, but an eminent cause that I feel very strongly about. To be a bar mitzvah is to be someone who influences others and takes on a more responsible role in their community. They step up when needed and fight for those who cannot fight for themselves. Now that I'm a bar mitzvah, I am going to take a positive impact on those around me. I'm responsible for my actions and what may come from them. This world could be a safer and happier place if we all use our voices to create change, and that is exactly what I plan to do. To be part of conversations, really listen to people, and make a difference in the world. I'd like to give a big thank you to Rabbi DeWaskin, Rabbi Greenspan, and Cantor Jam. I'm so thankful for your support today and every day. Next, I would like to express my gratitude for my amazing tutor, Paula Bergman. You helped me prepare for this day and always instilled the confidence I needed to get here. Thank you for never giving up on me and believing that this day would come. And an extra big thank you to my extended family and friends for being here with me today, both virtually and in person. I know you're all supporting me, even if you couldn't be here beside me today. The support really means a lot, and this may come as a surprise to some, but I want to say thank you to my older sister, Jordan. You've always supported me and have been an incredible role model to look up to. Lastly, I would like to give the biggest thank you to my parents. You have both done everything possible to make me happy, and though I might not say it enough, I am really so thankful for you and the life you have given me. You created an unforgettable weekend, and I love you both so much.
Hi, Aidan. I have a lot of thoughts that I want to share with you. And it starts really with about your Jewish connection and really what your Hebrew name is. It's Avraham Pinchas. Avraham means Avram means a father to many, and that's what Abraham in the Bible was Avram first, and then he built that relationship with God, and he became Avraham. So it's really about father to many, along with that connection relationship to God. So it's my hope that to fulfill your first Hebrew name is that you really, not that you're becoming a father to many, but that you be a leader, that you, and at least not for a long time, that you be a leader and that you make a connection, and then you help others, help those around you as a father figure would. And at the same time, you have a relationship to something bigger than yourself, to recognize that there's more out there than just us here, something bigger. The second name, Pinchas, actually means oracle. And an oracle in ancient days was a sound piece for whom ancient gods or people would go to for advice or prophecy. So be someone that people can come to be a sounding board, to give advice and to be supportive. There's no doubt that you are an individual who is caring and loving and often patient, and you're just there for people. You're a sweet human being. And that's my hope that you continue to be that way for the rest of your life. And that you continue to lean on your community, whether it's the Jewish community here at Temple Beth Emet, or the community of your family and your friends and your team, your parents and your sister, etc. So I just want you to continue to make that connection from everything. And we have some gifts for you that will help remind you that the importance of your Jewish community and also the Jewish soul within you. You mentioned it, and we know it's true that you are a huge baseball guy. So I want to read from you a number of quotes from baseball people, and it also ties into life lessons through baseball. So, and they're not all Yankees people, so I hope you can forgive me for that. There are three types of baseball players, says Tommy Lasorda. Those who make it happen, those who watch it happen, and those who wonder what happens. So in life, be someone who makes it happen. Sometimes you have to watch what happens and observe, but be the person who makes it and makes a difference. Yogi Berra said baseball is 90% mental and the other half is physical. We can work on his math later on. So baseball is a lot of it just is mental. A lot of life is just using your brain. And just sometimes if you don't know it, figure it out or ask for help. Because life is not about you as an individual. Life is about you as part of a community, again, part of something bigger than yourself. Casey Stengel said there are three things you can do in baseball. You can win, you can lose, or it can rain. So sometimes you're going to win, sometimes you're going to lose a game. There's no team in the history of baseball, at least in the major leagues, that's ever been undefeated for an entire season. People win, people lose, and sometimes you get rained out and you'll play another day. It's a matter of what you do with that time. It's a matter of the lessons that you learn from it. Bob Feller said, every day is a new opportunity. You can build on yesterday's success or put its failures behind and start over again. That's the way life is, with a new game every day, and that's the way baseball is. So every day you get a chance to wake up, choose an attitude, choose what you do, choose how you do it, and to make a difference. Lou Brock, Cardinals fan here, you can't be afraid to make errors. You can't be afraid to be naked before the crowd, not literally, figuratively speaking. Because no one can ever master the game of baseball or conquer it, you can only challenge it. When you're out in the field, everyone's looking at you. Everyone sees you. When you're in life, people are looking at you, people are seeing you. But it's just owning it and doing it and making an impact. Chad Harbach, who's actually not a baseball player, but he wrote about baseball, said baseball is a team game, but at the same time it's a very lonely game. Unlike in soccer or basketball, where players roam around, in baseball, everyone has their little plot of field to tend. When the action comes to you, the spotlight is on you, and no one can help you in that moment. So it is interesting, because people talk all the time about lessons that baseball is a team sport. It is a team sport because you can't win a game by covering every position in the field by yourself. But you have to have the skills necessary, and the skill of one person can help lift up the skills of somebody else. And that's the way in life too. That life is a team sport. And when you have the skills necessary, you can help lift other people up, and you can also rely on other people around you to help lift you up at the same time. A-Rod said, the more you play baseball, the less depends on your athletic ability. It's a mental war more than anything else. So again, that whole fact of having that focus and that drive. Tommy Lasorda said, baseball is like driving. It's the one who gets home safely that counts. So at the end of the day, it's making that relationship and building that connection to your home. And making it home makes a difference. You can have a great game, but you still can lose because nobody made it home. Pat Gillick said, baseball is about talent, hard work, and strategy. But at the deepest level, it's about love, integrity, and respect. That's really what life is about. Love with your family. I mean, that sense of integrity, of being true, of being honest, and having respect for others, and respect for yourself. How you treat your body, how you treat yourself, how you treat those around you. And finally, I'll give you a quote from Yogi Berra. Love is the most important thing in the world. But baseball's pretty good too. So when you have love of life, and you can have love of baseball too, that makes a difference. I used to work with people at camp who often, unfortunately, would put people down to lift themselves up. There's enough love in this world to go around. So share that love with people, and that will lift you up and lift them up as well. In the end, I just want you to be the best Aidan that you can possibly be in life. And that's what makes a difference. So I'd like to invite you, your mom, and your dad before the Bema to confer upon you the blessings of our people. Please rise.
May God bless you and keep you every moment, every day. May God smile on you and fill your heart in every way. May God help you find the goodness in everything you do. May you be blessed with peace from above. Yevarechecha v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka, Yisa Adonai panav elecha.
Be seated.
Yasim lecha shalom.
Hi everyone. I can't believe this day is finally here, although I have to say it is definitely different than what I had pictured. I want to thank our family and friends for being here with us today. I know these times have been challenging, and for some, coming here today was a big deal, as some haven't been in a big gathering, let alone a small one. So thank you, and just know how much it means to us that you did this to support Aidan. And for the majority of you that are not here with us today and watching through YouTube, we really thank you for tuning in. And I know Aidan has felt the love from all of you. You are certainly missed here today. We also want to give a big thank you to our rabbis, Cantor, and our fabulous tutor, Paula. Paula, you've done it again, and this time I'm sure it wasn't easy, as almost all of your teaching had to be done via Zoom or FaceTime. You are truly a special lady, and we will never forget all that you've done to make today happen. The support you gave Aidan was amazing, and you gave him a confidence he didn't always have. So just know how much you are appreciated. Aidan, I'm pretty sure you know how we feel about you. I am your sappy mom who can't tell you enough how much I love you. Thank you for putting up with me, babying you, even at 6 feet tall. You are my gift from God, and we are all lucky to have you. Even Jordan would agree. I'm always proud of you and the effort you give everything you do, and today was no exception. You spoke so well, and you really have exceeded my expectations. From the beginning, you were my perfect baby, Aidan. You were never an issue, an easy, happy baby who just smiled all the time and ate and slept very well, kind of like how you act these days. You did everything at your own pace, determined to do it your way, and had such a strong will that once you set your mind to something, it was going to happen. I knew pretty quickly you were different, you were special and had a gift. Your drive and determination would have you achieving anything you set your heart to. I hope you know I was your biggest fan day one, and I still am now. My love and support are always with you. You started here at Temple Beth Emmet at the age of 2, and when I walked you into school, well, let's just say it didn't go so well. After about 2 weeks of you hanging on my leg screaming not to leave you at school, Miss Lois told me I needed to toughen you up and let you cry. Yeah, well, let's just say I stopped walking you into school and I did carpool so they could take you very quickly and I wouldn't see you cry anymore. Shortly thereafter, you made your first friend, Noah Antevi, and that was it. You were on your way to having happy days at preschool. From that moment, you showed who you were, strong, caring, and a pretty funny kid. You are passionate about things you believe in. You love your family and our puppies more than anything, always checking on all of us every single day. You've always been a great student in the gifted program and fell in love with playing baseball at the age of 3. If anyone knows you, they know you wanted to be on the baseball field any chance you get. But if you're not in the field, we are pretty sure we're going to find you fishing or maybe just hanging with the boys playing video games. You're everybody's friend, and kids truly gravitate to being around you. Aidan and I have loved watching you grow into a confident young man this past year, and I continue to be in awe of what you can accomplish. You've given 100% to your studies while committing to 2 travel baseball teams and never once complaining about it being too much work or that it was too hard. You've kept your head high and just pushed through, and I want to thank you for being such a good brother to Jordan. I always tell you guys that I had you so that you both would have each other, that you'd be there for each other every single day for the rest of your lives. I know how much you look up to your big sister, and even though you may not say it, I know you love hers very much. I always say I'm your biggest fan, but Jordan is right there behind me, cheering you on every step of the way. She screams on that field for you most days and walks around thinking, yep, that's my brother. I know she is the big sister, but thanks for looking out for her too. She needs you more than you know. Daddy, Jordan, and I celebrate you today and always. We are so blessed to be part of your life.
Aidan, baby Aidan, buddy, you did it. You've been practicing for this day for a long time. You spent many hours on Zoom calls with Miss Paula practicing in your prayers and your Torah portion. You never gave up. You kept on practicing to get it right. But that's who you are. You never give up. I remember your first swim lesson, your first basketball game, your first baseball game. You never gave up. You always wanted to find a way to be the best at what you do. That is who you are, the young man who is always going to follow his dreams and accomplish anything you put your mind to. I'm so proud of you for collecting baseball equipment for your Mitzvah project. I love that you realize how lucky you are and that you want to share some of your good fortune with others who have not been so lucky. As you continue to grow up and become an adult, you will decide the path of your future. Know that there will always be ups and downs, and sometimes life doesn't always seem fair. I think that is something you've really learned this year, but you have such inner strength that we know you will always be okay. But don't ever forget the incredible person you are and how special you are to so many. Continue to follow your dreams, and anyone who knows you well, and that will involve baseball. Your commitment to getting better each day is inspiring to your coaches and your family. You keep fighting the fight to be the best, and all of that work, hard work, is really paying off. You said it, you want to become a great baseball player, and you are well on your way. You said I can learn Hebrew at home via Zoom, and you certainly did it. You said I can do school virtually, and you still get all A's, and you did. Aidan, I have no doubt that anything you set your mind to will happen. You make me so proud to call you my son. You made me cry. But most important, make sure you always enjoy life. Have lots of fun. Continue laughing at yourself and making others laugh. It is okay to make mistakes. Take chances. Try new things. And remember, this is your life, and you should enjoy it to the fullest. Be kind to yourself. Show respect. And always remember to love yourself no matter what. I hope you remember this moment always, and you never forget your connection to your Jewish faith. The day of your bar mitzvah is such a day of happiness for our entire family. Know that Mom and I love you with all our heart. We'll be there to support you and cheer you on. We are your biggest fans, on and off the field. Even though there may be times we don't always see things eye to eye, just know we do everything out of pure love for you. You'll always be our baby Aidan. We can't wait to see what you accomplish next. Love you, buddy.
invite up, as we continue with the concluding part of our service, Rabinowitz and Steinman families to the Bima to open the Ark. Please rise and turn to page 282 for the Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות אדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Page 294. Think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died this season, years past, those whom we've been drawn to our hearts with our own. Please remain standing. In particular, today we remember Agnes and Hyman Brown, Irma and Jack Jaworski, Sylvia and Harry Silverman, Shirley, and Herman Jacobs. We also remember Joan Brown, Larry Brown, Andy Pasdur, Bobby Brown, Sherman Silverman, Howard Mann. Zichronam Levracha, may their memories be for blessings we recite together, Kaddish Atom, the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadash, Vyitkadal, Vyitkadash, Shemei Rabbah. Elma Divrach, Yurite, Vyamlich Malchute. V'chayechon, Uvyomechon, Uvchaye, D'chol Beit Yisrael. Agala, Uvizman Kari, V'imru. Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah, Mevarach, Le'alam, Olmei, Almaya. Yitzbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh. V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shemei D'kudesha, B'richu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, Amiram B'alma V'imru. Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru. Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mromav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru. Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all of Israel. We say together, Amen.
Amen.
Aidan, we say Mazel Tov.
Mazel Tov.
And we are going to conclude with a concluding song. We're joined together.
Useh shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, v'imru, amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, yaseh shalom. Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'yakol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'yakol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'yakol Yisrael.
Once again, we say Mazel Tov to Aidan. Mazel Tov to the whole Jacobs family. We wish you a Shabbat filled with peace and celebration. Shabbat Shalom.